The New Zealand V8 Ute Racing Series got started at Pukekohe Park Raceway. It was a history-making occasion, Alexandra Whitley claiming the first win ever for a woman in the class. Then it was down to the deep south and highlands. And once again, close quarters racing saw Matt Spratt come out on top. We're at the halfway stage now of the championship. Shell Helix Motor Oils are proud to present the New Zealand V8 Ute Series. At the halfway stage of the New Zealand V8 Ute Championship Series, it was fitting that we'd come back to Manfeild Circuit Chrysamon, because here, years ago, was where this class was started in New Zealand. Category manager Paul Isaac explains.
2006, Ash Kearns and Jamie Kett ran that challenge here, and that was the start to get it organised to create the category in New Zealand, which then Ash and Jamie kicked it off in 2008, and here we are, 2019, all those years later, and it's going good. The parity is so close now. We've got better and better each year, and this year, you know, with all the final suspension adjustments we did for the new season, it's really tied to parity and close, and it's anyone's challenge now. We've got Stu Monteith, Monty's his nickname. He's joined us for the season and then in for next year as well. So we've got a couple more that are talking to us, ready for next season. So the growth's slowly coming along.
2 rounds down and 2 rounds to go. In round 1, Glenn Collinson took the win for the Ford fans, and Matt Spratt did the job in round 2 in Cromwell. Manfeild is round 3, and then the grand final will be at Hampton Downs in the Waikato. Qualifying was held on Saturday morning, and in third place it was the higher man, Andrew Porter in the Holden. Second best in the qualifying was the points leader in the championship, and that was Matt the Stinger Spratt. There are problems, though, for Hamilton's Glenn Collinson when he couldn't turn onto the front straight. No problems at all for Paul Manuel.
It is a good way to start. Long weekend ahead of us, but yeah, hopefully we can keep the form. We found a good little something in qualifying there, so real happy with that. The guys, you know, obviously doing a great job, and I'm appreciative of that. It makes us shine, and yeah, that's good. The track temp's just skyrocketing, so you got to work with that. And some things you apply don't always work, but yeah, when it does, it's payday.
8 laps to decide race number 1, and it's Paul Manuel on pole position. Alongside him, Matt Spratt. Row number 2, it's Andrew Porter and Glenn Collinson. Row number 3, it's Jeff Spencer and Alexandra Whitley. Row number 4, Peter Chaos Ward and Brett the Scud Rudd. Row number 5, Dave Kernahan and Simon the Bandit Usher. And row number 6, it's Jeff Ripples Kernahan and Stu Monteith. And in row number 7, it is Dave Shaggy Lowe. We are just about set to get the lights out, and away we go. And once again, a pretty good start coming from the outside there, and that is Matt Spratt, but an even better one coming from Paul Manuel. So it's the Auckland that'll lead them into turn 1. Good start too from Alex Whitley down there on the LDV Ute, trying to get squeezed 3 abreast as they go into Toyota. Who's going to give here? Whitley's going to be pushed to the outside. That's exactly what happens. Collinson's the aggressor. We take the Ward demolition camera on board here with Peter Chaos Ward. Just up ahead of him, it's one of the originals. That's Jeff Spencer as they work their way into the splash for the first of 8 times. Brett the Scud Rudd not having the very best to start, so he's really got to start making some progress in the early stages of this one. Oh, and a little bit of contact there between the Scud and Alexandra Whitley. Whitley in the LDV Holden, just in behind her it's the Scud, then it's the Kernahan family. Dad Dave and son Jeff, you're on board here with Matt the Stinger Spratt. He's the points leader, remember, after coming from Cromwell, round number 2 of the series with that points lead, and he's chasing down Paul Auto Manuel. This is one of the originals. This is Jeff Spencer, and he's in a battle all on his own there with Peter Chaos Ward. These guys, the originals here from the inception, 12 long years ago now of New Zealand V8 Ute Racing, and those guys have been doing it all that time. So 2 groups starting to form. Brett the Scud Rudd caught up in a bit of no man's land. Then it's the 21 of Jeff Kernahan just getting up on the outside of Dad Dave. Oh, a little no love lost in the family. A little bit of contact going on there. The 94 in there as well, and that's Simon Usher, Simon the Bandit Usher. So this whole field heading down into turn 1 once again. The Bandit looking a little bit racy just behind the Kernahan family. It's number 12, and that's Jeff, and 21 is Dave. That's father and son. And once again, a little bit of contact, so bragging rights around the kitchen table up for grabs here in the Kernahan Contracting Forwards, battling their way around this 3.033 circuit here at Manfeild. It's round 3 of the championship for the New Zealand V8 Utes, and it's on for all concerned, because after here we go to the final at Hampton Downs. Oh, once again, just chopping the nose off there, the 21 of Jeff Kernahan, just getting chopped off by Father Dave. Meantime, the race leader continues to head down the Denny Holmes Straight into Higgins. Alexander Whitley trying to get a little bit racy, trying to dive down the inside under brakes on Peter Chaos Wood. Can't get the job done. Chaos Wood just runs it a little bit wide, and that just makes the gap between himself and Jeff Spencer grow just a little bit more. Down the back straight they goes. There is the higher man. Right in behind him, it's the 17 of Collinson. Then we go back to the 22 of Jeff Spence, and in behind him, it's the 69. A little bit of oil smoke maybe puffing out the back of the Ward Demolition Holden. Onto the front straight they come once again. And I tell you what, this is too close to call, and that's how it's been for the whole season in the New Zealand V8 Ute Series. Look at this, Ward getting racy, trying to get up the inside, trying to determine track position as they head down into 1. You ride here, take the Ward Demolition onboard camera with Peter Chaos Ward, one of the originals, in the Holden, just up ahead of him. Great mate, Jeff Spencer. Into infield turns they go now, through Splash. There is absolutely nothing in this. And look at Matt, the Stinger Sprat, start to work over Porter here. Meantime, out in the front, it's Paul Manuel. Put the Holden on pole and has just strolled away from the field. And while all these guys are battling, Paul Manuel's just starting to ease away. Look at the damage on the front of the Porter Hire Holden. That's the multiple New Zealand Super Truck champion, Andrew Porter. Right in behind him is Matt the Stinger Sprat and the Primo go forward. You're riding with him here as they work their way out of Higgins and down the long back straight here at Manfeild. Circuit Chris Amon. And ideal conditions for race 1 of the New Zealand V8 Ute Racing Series. 3 races over the weekend. And will it change the complexion of the championship series? Remember, it's a shortened championship this year, just the 4 rounds. So every round must count. You can't afford a DNF. Jeff Spencer just leading away there from Alexander Whitley. Getting a little bit racy down the inside is Brett the Scud Rudd. God, there's nothing in this. Oh, and just a gentle lock up there from Whitley, and a little bit of an encouragement from Peter Chaos Ward, tapping out the message in braille on the tailgate of the LDV Holden. There it is again. So Peter's come armed for bear. He's here, serious. He's here to race, and he's here to get as far up this field as he possibly can. And if that means driving over the top of Alex Whitley, well, so be it. And she knows that. She's accepted the challenge. And in many cases, she's been more than a match for any of the challenges that the guys throw at her. And she's doing it again here. She's holding back Chaos Ward, and that means that Brett the Scud Rudd is coming back to this battle as well. Kernahan family in the background, and also Simon the Bandit Usher in the Ford. We concentrate on this Holden battle that's going on here. The LDV Ute of Alexander Whitley. Then we go back to Peter Chaos Ward, and then we go back to Brett the Scud Rudd. Peter Chaos Ward, as I've mentioned so many times before, has changed his attitude to driving in the New Zealand V8 Ute Championship. He's gone from driving with his heart to more driving with his head. Yes, he's not as spectacular, but he's getting the results. He sits in a good points-paying position as the championship reaches the halfway stage. Jeff Spencer doing a great job holding off this little battle at the front of the field. Still, it is Porter and Sprat that go at it. You're on board here with a man sitting back in 4th place, and this is Glenn the Coyote Collinson in the DNA Custom Paints Ford. Had a bit of trouble in the qualifying. Put that behind him now, and has come from, I think, on the 4th row of the grid, so he's going to be in the mix very shortly as well. Look at the slightly different lines you're seeing there from Andrew Porter and Matt the Stinger Sprat as they work their way through Splash and up to the hairpin, and then it'll be down onto the Denny Holmes Straight. This very technical circuit here at Manfeild looks easy when you see it on TV, but it's a real driver's track. It's a real challenge for man and machine. This battle for 2nd and 3rd rages. Matt the Stinger Sprat looks one way, looks the other. Just tries to unnerve Andrew Porter. Can't do it. Through Higgins they go. Out onto the long back straight once again. Manuel just set sail at the front of the field. He's got what I think may be an uncatchable lead at the moment. He's just cruising out there. I think if you pick up a trace of his throttle response, it probably hasn't hit full throttle for the last couple of laps. He's got the advantage and he's just holding it. This is where the racing is at the moment. 22, Jeff Spencer. Then we go back to Alex Whitley. Then we go back to Peter Chaos Ward, and Brett the Scud Rudd is in there as well. Should any of them make a mistake. You're on board here with Chaos Ward, the Ward Demolition Ute. So we talk about parity in these multi-class races, and the parity is absolutely spot on. We've seen plenty of Ford wins this season, and we've seen plenty of Holden wins. Right now we're watching this Holden battle, and it's a beauty. The core steel Holden of Jeff SOS Spencer, the local. The Australian, Skippy, Alexander Whitley in the LDV Ute, and then it's Chaos, Peter Chaos Ward in the Ward Demolition Ute. Just tries to drive up the inside, got a little bit sideways, nice bit of drifting there from Ward, and I think he can stay there, he'll hold the position. Will he crowd out Whitley out to the outside as they work their way down the Denny Holm Straight once again? No, he can't do it. Whitley gets the elbows up and keeps Peter Ward out of contention. This is what we want to see, close quarters racing. Jeff SOS Spencer is playing a part in this if he wants to or not, because I've got a feeling that he may just be slowing this bunch up just a little bit. Whitley's getting a little bit impatient now. She's tried a couple of times to get around Spencer, but that has brought Peter Ward back into the contention as well, because we saw that in the infield. As sideways as he was, he still managed to make ground on Alexander Whitley. You ride with him as they work around the big sweeper here at Manfeild. Once again, picks up the advantage again as they come off the sweeper. So he's right there with Whitley. What's he going to do? Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? Is he going to follow it into turn one? Toyota here at Manfeild. Last lap, he's got to make a move, and he decides to go down the inside. Oh, and he's the last of the late breakers, but it gets a little bit out of control. Whitley's not going to lose her nerve, though. She's going to go right around the outside. She couldn't do it in the opening laps. She's done it this time, though. So Alexander Whitley holds on to the position. Wardy's got to think of something else. He's very fast through this section of the circuit. You can see, once again, he'll be tapping away on the tailgate just to let Alexander know that he's right there. This battle is absolutely enthralling. Oh, and he just got it a little bit wrong there. You saw the back of the car step out. And then he had to get into damage control, and that's allowed Whitley to just breathe again. So no change. Lonely old race for Glenn the Coyote Collinson in the DNA Ford. He's back in fourth place, but you can see first and second disappearing up ahead of him, and there's still quite a cushion back to Jeff SOS Spencer. But it's good points for the Coyote. Back to the leader. Here is the Super Freight Partmaster Holden of Paul Auto Manual, about to claim the first race victory of the weekend for the New Zealand V8 Utes. Manual does it in style. Looks like it'll be Andrew Porter across the line in second place, and then it'll be Matt the Stinger Spratt in third. And that's how the officials saw it as well. So Holden, Ford. Then it was another Ford in the form of Glenn Coyote Collinson in fourth place. Jeff SOS Spencer in the Holden. Alexander Skippy Whitley. Peter Chaos Ward. Brett the Scud Rudd. Dirty Dave Kernahan. And Jeff Ripples Kernahan. Simon the Bandit usher through in 11th. And then Dave Shaggy Lowe and Monty Monteith.
Oh, it was good that Spratty and Andrew were having a little battle. It just gave me a good clear run. So I just pinned my ears back and got on with it. Got a nice clean lap. And yeah, young Andrew there was obviously coming up thick and fast, so yeah, all good.
We were falling off the back of the front two there. Paul was pretty much out on his own in that race, and we knew if we could stay on the back that we might get an opportunity, and unfortunate for Matt, he missed a couple of gears and gave us a good opportunity, and I took what I could get at the end of the front straight.
Yeah, no, it was a good fight with both of them, really. I just missed probably the worst mirror in my life, probably about 6 or 7 gears. Missed third gear every bloody lap, so yeah. Weak performance, really. Yeah, to have second fastest lap doing that's not too bad, so bring on tomorrow, bring on the morning, we'll be on.
Quick look at the highlights from race number 1, and off pole position went Paul Manuel, and he was never headed. Plenty of great racing going on behind. Come back after the break and see much more. The only woman in the New Zealand V8 Ute Series, Alexandra Whitley, has been very busy in the lead up to the Grand Prix meeting here at Manfeild.
Between the 2 rounds, I travelled over to Melk in Austria, and I was part of the driver selection program for the W Series, which is an all-female series, and that starts in May. After Spain, there is another test. In between then and May is our first round in Hockenheim in Germany. So the next 6 weeks to Spain will go really fast, and then it'll turn over again quickly, and then we start racing in May. So it'll come around really quickly, and in between I've got to juggle the ute racing too, so it's a little bit tricky going from one extreme to the other, but I'm ready to take on the challenge.
So it's the Kernahan family on the front row. Row 2, Brett the Scud Rudd and Peter Chaos Ward. Row 3, Alexander Whitley and Jeff SOS Spencer. Row 4, Glenn Collinson and Matt Stinger Spratt. And in row 5, it's Andrew Porter and Paul Manuel. Row number 6, it's Simon the Bandit Usher and Dave Shaggy Lowe. And in 7, it's Stu Monty Monteith. So it is the quick boys at the back, but on the front row it is the all Ford family of the Kernahans from Turangi, and away goes number 12, and that is Dave Kernahan, that's the father. Oh, a little bit of contact going on behind there. Getting very racy early on was Peter Chaos Ward. I think he might have got into the back of maybe Jeff Ripples Kernahan. Have a look at the traffic jam in front of Simon the Bandit Usher. He's doing his very best to negotiate that lineup in front of him. Oh, and caught out a little bit there was the 12, and that was Dave Kernahan, so he's going backwards at a rate of knots, but it's Jeff Kernahan out in the front as they head through Splash for the first time. In second place, it is Brett the Scud Rudd. Then we go back to Peter Chaos Ward. So it's the KCH Ford of Kernahan leading it. Gentle lock up there from the 17 of Collinson. And the 12 goes straight ahead. And that is Dirty Dave Kernahan. And his race has ended prematurely against the concrete here at Manfeild. So you're on board here with Simon the Bandit Usher. Just up ahead of him, it's the 17, and that is the DNA Paints Ford of Glenn Collinson. Usher just trying to keep nice and clean, keep out of the way. Good start also from Alexander Whitley in the LDV Holden. Meantime, it's the 99 in the front, 69 Peter Ward getting pretty racy as well. So too Ripples Kernahan, that's Jeff, the number 21. Remember, Dad went out in the first lap. These three have just cleared out a little bit. Oh, they say Rubbin's racing and Bangin's banging, because there's a fair bit of banging going on there between the 48 of Matt the Singer Spratt, and the safety car has been deployed here at Manfeild, and that'll be for the KCH Ford that is stuck against the concrete. So all those gaps are going to close up now as we get set for a restart here. And there is the number 12, and that is Dave Kernahan. Here it is on the Shell Helix replay. Now, does he get a bit of a hand there from Alexander Whitley, or does he do it all on his own? We'll get a better view of it here from Glenn the Coyote Collinson. All just a lock-up, and it's just caught him out and it's put him into the tyre wall. Don't think there was contact between Whitley and Kernahan then. Restart time, 99, Brett the Scud Rudd in the front, Peter Chaos Ward in behind him. Then it's Jeff Ripples Kernahan. You're on board here with the Coyote, Glenn Collinson. Just up ahead of him is the championship points leader now, and that is Matt the Stinger Spratt, trying to get down the inside of the 21, and that's Ripples Kernahan, and he's pushed him to the outside and he's made the pass stick. Trying to go with him was the 17, the Panorama Motorsport Ford of Glenn Collinson, and also on the back of that train is the number 15, race 1 winner, the Super Freight Partmaster Holden, and that is Paul Auto Manuel. Over the curb cam they come here at Manfeild. What's been a hallmark of this season has been the close quarters racing, and you get a great demonstration on it there. Peter Chaos Ward trying to drive into the back of Brett the Scud Rudd as they come out of the hairpin and head down the Denny Holmes Straight. Holden on Holden at the front of the field in this one. Race 2 of 3 here at Circuit Chris Amon. It is scorching hot, and that means the track temperature's hot as well, and that means these Yokohama tyres, as good as they are, will be struggling for a bit of traction. And look at the battle wounds on the LDV Ute of Alexandra Whitley. She's been in the wars early on. In fact, quite a few of the Utes carrying a fair bit of damage. Here comes the big top-end charge from Chaos Ward. Can he make the pass stick as they work their way around the big sweeper and down onto the front straight? Once again, yes, I think he can. Have a look on the left-hand side of the Holden of Peter Chaos Ward. Is Brett the Scud Rudd going to come back? No, he's not. So Peter Chaos Ward goes into the front. Line astern now, the 99, and that is the Scud. Alexander Whitley getting racy as she tries to dive down the inside as they head down into Toyota. And they're door handle to door handle, mirror to mirror. Whitley gets it all sideways. It pushes Rudd a little bit to the outside, and then she decides to have a go at Matt the Stinger Spratt, and he takes to the grass. It's all happening here at Manfeild. It's race 2 of the New Zealand V8 Utes, and Alexandra Whitley is right in the centre of it. Has she got her elbows up or what? Fantastic stuff from the New Zealand V8 Utes, and it's all going on behind the leader at the moment. And look at this, battles within battles. Porter gets into the back of Manuel, who nearly gets into the back of Collinson, and that is the battle just inside the top 5. It's the 69 of Chaos Ward in the front, 99, Brett the Scud Rudd. The Pallet Supplies Holden in second. Then it's Whitley, the first lady of the New Zealand V8 Utes. Remember, she made history with a win in round 1 at Pukekohe. Seems like a long time ago now, and she's got all she can handle from Matt the Stinger Spratt. And even at the back of the field, they're battling like it's the World Championship. Peter Chaos Ward, the veteran, in the front. Noticed a change in the driving of Peter throughout the season. He's driving a little bit more with his head than his heart these days. Yes, it's not quite as spectacular as the old Chaos Ward, but he's got the results. He's sitting pretty in the points. He's in the championship chase. So too is the man in 4th place, and that is Matt the Stinger Spratt. He is the championship leader at the moment. You're on board here with the DNA Custom Paints Ford of Glenn the Coyote Collinson, the Panorama Motorsport car out of Hamilton, sitting back in 5th place, and it's a distant 5th at the moment because all the action is happening ahead of him. Paul Manuel in behind Collinson. Then we go back to Andrew the higher man Porter, multiple New Zealand Super Truck racing champion, really has found a home here in the New Zealand V8 Utes. He loves the camaraderie off the track, but he loves the competition on. And boy, are we seeing some competition here. It's too early to pick a winner. It's too close to call at the moment, certainly for the minors. The LDV Ute dives to the outside. Going to the inside of her was Matt the Stinger Spratt. Did Spratt make the pass? I think he did, so he moves up a position. Remember, the top boys, Manuel and Spratt, have come from the back of the field. They're threading their way through the traffic. Peter Chaos Ward is making hay while the sun shines. He's out in the front and trying to pull away. Then it's the 99 of Brett Rudd. Then we go back to the Primo Grove Ford, and that's Matt the Stinger Spratt. Right in behind him, Whitley. And then it's the 17, the colourful Ford of Glenn the Coyote Collinson. And Porter and Manuel arguing like it is the World Championship, and they're just inside the top 10. Look at Porter, he dives left, he dives right, trying to get up the inside of Manuel. Can't make the pass stick. Manuel in turn tries to get up the inside of the Coyote. The Coyote runs a little bit wide. Is this the opening Manuel was looking for? No, he can't make it work as they head down into Splash once again. What a race here. Manuel carrying plenty of speed as they go through the old Castrol corner. Out in the front, while this battle is going on behind them, Peter Ward just starting to pull away just a little bit. Oh, and onto the grass goes the higher man. Well, he's trying just a little bit too hard. It's gone from aggressive, smooth racing to on the ragged edge for Andrew Porter. Well, plenty of aggressive racing still to come. Come back after the break for the conclusion to race 2. Welcome back to Circuit. Chris Amon here at Manfeild, the spiritual home of the New Zealand V8 Utes. This is where it all happened with the Trans-Tasman years. Seems like a lifetime ago now. This is race number 2, and it's absolutely been a barn burner since the lights went out, and everyone's had a part to play. Paul Manuel coming from the very back of the field, working away on the 17 of Glenn Collinson. But the real action is just up the track in front of them. Through Splash they go once again. Look at the ground that Manuel makes up on Collinson. Just goes to the brakes fractionally later. Picks up a bit of space. Matt the Stinger Spratt has finally cleared the 99 of the Scud, so he's now in hot pursuit of Peter Chaos Ward. There's the DNA Ford of Collinson. So they'll all be pretty much on the same part of the racetrack as they head down the Denny Holm Straight. 69, 48, 99, and then it is Alexandra Whitley. Skippy to her friends. Well, we know if you cast your mind back to when the Australians were good at rugby, an Australian that's cornered is a dangerous animal, and we've seen that with Alexandra Whitley before. This is Matt the Stinger Spratt, 2nd place, and this is what the big crowd has come to see. Close quarters racing, Holden on forward. It's the Holden in the front. That's the 69 of Peter Chaos Ward. And in 2nd place, it's Matt the Stinger Spratt in the Primo Grove Falcon. He is the championship points leader, remember, so he can't afford to do anything too silly. You've got to finish every single race. It's only a 4-round championship. Sure, Spratt would love to get up to the front, but he doesn't want to throw away all that effort and have a DNF. More action further down the field. Once again, going defensive is Glenn the Coyote Collinson on Paul Manuel. Coming back into the fight after just easing off a little bit was the high man. How about this? 3 abreast into turn number 1. It's the 21 of Jeff Ripples Kernahan, getting very, very sideways with Jeff Spencer and ready to clean up the dregs, if there was going to be any, was the Bandit in the Fragile Freight Ford. Luckily, they all survived and keep going around the circuit here at Manfeild, getting a little bit closer at the front of the field now. Spratt's found maybe something in the closing stages of this one. The Ford starts to pull up, tries to draw level with Peter Chaos Ward as they head down the long chute here at Manfeild. Into Higgins they come, out onto the back straight they will go. This time maybe the Stinger Sprat's got track position. We'll have a look. Will this translate to a pass at the end of the long back straight here at Manfeild? There is absolutely nothing in this. Have a look at it. Door handle to door handle, and Peter Ward just about outbraked himself, but he stays in the front, and that's all you got to do at this stage, and he's done it. And the Stinger comes right back at him. There's a little bit more contact as they go across the stripe. There's more to be written about this one. They're great mates off the track, but they're fierce competitors on it, and you can see it here as they head down into 1 at mighty Manfeild. It's the 69. Big lock-up, right front lock-up for Matt the Stinger Spratt, but then Wardy runs it a little bit wide. Spratt comes back at him. Once again, they're side by side. It's the Primo Grove Ford. Will have track position as they head down into Splash. Ward's not going to let him have it. He stays on the gas a little bit longer, and for that matter, he stays in the front. Brilliant driving from the veteran Peter Chaos Ward from Auckland. You're on board with him here, heading up into the hairpin once again, and he's got, if anything, a slight advantage now on Matt Spratt sitting in second place. But this is a part of the track where Spratt is very good. Down the Denny Holm straight they come once again. Once again, they are side by side. And look who's lurking in the background. It's the Scud, Brett Rudd. You're on board here with Glenn the Coyote Collinson. And big contact between the Coyote and Skippy. It's a battle of the animals in the back of the field here at Manfeild. Whitley would have felt that one. And it's pushed Collinson ahead of her. Well, maybe they'll be looking at that in the officials' room. And they might be looking at this as well. They say Rubbins racing, and that's what we got here at mighty Manfeild. And once again, Spratt tries to go on the inside, and Chaos Ward gets a little bit sideways, and that's the advantage that Spratt was looking for. He gets into the front. They cross the stripe. You get the feeling this one isn't done with yet, though. It's the 48 in front. Look at Ward, as racy as you like. Tries to go down the outside this time. Not going to work for him. Very, very sideways and just about off the track. In fact, off the track was Brett the Scud Rudd, so that means Glenn the Coyote Collinson will now move up into third position. This battle at the front continues. A little bit more braille tapped onto the tailgate of Matt Spratt's Ford from Peter Chaos Ward. You're right here with Ward, taking the Ward Demolition onboard shot. And Spratt this time runs a little bit wide out of the hairpin. And there's the opening that Peter Chaos Ward was looking for. And he has a bit of a problem. Maybe got up a little bit high on the curbs. You just saw a little bit of vibration from the Holden as they head down into Higgins once again. This is the battle at the front of the field. It's Ford on Holden. It's another Ford in third, and then it's another 2 Holdens. We don't like using the parity word, but I think the organisers have got it absolutely dead right with the New Zealand V8 Utes. Matt the Stinger Spratt leads it. Chaos Ward in second place. Then it's Collinson. Then it's Whitley. Then we go back to the high man Porter. And in behind him, it would be the 99 recovering from that off-track excursion, and that is Brett the Scud Rudd. The one that's missing now, though, is Paul Manuel. What has happened to the man that was second in points? Paul Manuel has gone missing here at Manfeild. Localised yellow as they head down into 1. So no passing in the entrance or the exit of the turn 1 corner here at Manfeild. And it's just got a glimpse of Manuel, and he looked like he was slowing, so we'll try and keep an eye on that. This is the race leader, though, and he is running to the checkered flag. He made the opportune pass of Peter Chaos Ward, and he's held on to the front running. And if anything, he's extended it just a little bit. You can see it there from that shot as they work the infield curves here at Manfeild. There is Chaos Ward in second, then it's the Coyote Collinson, and then it's Andrew Porter getting really racy. Both bonnets on the Holden, the LDV Holden and the Porter Group Holden, really bearing the witness marks from a pretty torrid encounter. Matt the Stinger Spratt, though, just extending here as he runs to the checkered flag. Well, it was hot and heavy for a long, long time, but it looks like it's going to fall in this man's favour. As out of Higgins and down the back straight for the last time he comes. Matt the Stinger Spratt. Before he got into the New Zealand V8 Utes, he'd never had any motor racing experience at all. Now he's leading the championship. Here he is going to lead and win race number 2 and pick up 35 valuable points. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. Got up onto the ripples and maybe got a little bit sideways. Not going to take it away from him, though. He wins it. Peter Chaos Ward's going to hold on for second, and then it'll be the 17 of Glenn the Coyote Collinson. But hold all tickets with Collinson. They might want to look at that. And that's what's happened with Paul Manuel. A mechanical issue by the look of it.
Pretty intense fight out there, you know, starting back at the back of the reverse grid, and Wardy had the charm bean up the front and put his head down and got out there. But yeah, I got through the mix of it all and saw him up the road and thought, this is great, you know. Two good mates here, and I thought, right, I saw him in the rear view looking at me, and I was laughing the whole time. But no, credit to both of us. He plenty of racing room and got a little bit close, and I knew he wasn't going to give up, so kept the pressure on and got there.
I did miss a gear after he got past, but I did give him a bit of a run from his money, and I had a bit of an altercation with Ruddy at the start, so the front of my car was a little bit, yeah, had a couple of issues.
All I told him this morning was follow the blue car, and now he's touching the blue car, so he must get in love with it. Good on you, brother.
And we're pretty happy to race our way up to P3, because we haven't, I mean, we've probably been in P4 car ever since first practice, but you know, we're making some inroads. The track is just awful, really, to be honest. Hot, greasy. You don't actually know what it's going to be like one session to the next, so we're pretty happy with what happened out there.
Well, a couple of surprises with the results. You see that Glenn the Coyote Collinson relegated one spot for the contact with Alexandra Skippy Whitley. Matt Stinger Spratt gets the win from Peter Chaos Ward. In 5th place, it is Andrew Hireman Porter, and behind him is Brett the Scud Rudd. The real surprises are further down the page. Paul Auto Manual, a DNF, along with Dirty Dave Kernahan. Plenty of action still to come here at Manfeild as we gear up for race 3, the 3rd and final one here at Circuit Chris Amon. Let's catch up with technical expert Didier Debuck.
All the way from sunny Manfeild. Bloody hot here, 32 degrees, I think. So you imagine how hot it would be in this little office. I'm sitting in a proper race seat here, so the seat is actually fixed to the car. You can't move it forwards or backwards. It's actually bolted to the car so it doesn't come loose. You've also got very, very high-tech seat belts, 6-point seat belts, so you don't move around. And then you're protected by a roll cage, which is actually welded to the chassis of the frame of the car. It's actually that would save you in a big accident. And on these utes, actually, you still got the original key to start the engine and turn it off.
Well, there you are. That's the instruction for Matt the Stinger Spratt. He'll be sitting on pole position. Alongside him will be Andrew Porter. 2nd row, Ward and Collinson. In row number 3, it's Whitley and Spencer. And in row number 4, it's Rudd and Manuel. Row number 5, it's Kernahan and Usher. Row number 6 sees Dave Shaggy Lowe and Dirty Dave Kernahan. And in row number 7, it's Stu Monty Monteith. Well, it is later in the day here at Manfeild. It's been an absolute scorcher. Track temperature up towards 40 degrees. And the other thing that we've got to consider is the rubber build-up from the TRS cars. You're on board here with Matt the Stinger Spratt from pole position. And look at the start from the Coyote Collinson from the 2nd row. And he's going to lead them as they head into Toyota. And there's a little bit of contact there between Jeff SOS Spencer, and it looked like Andrew Porter by the look of it, so he's going to pick up another few scratches on the Porter Group Holden. It's on for young and old as they head down into Splash. Great to see Paul Manuel back out there again. They had an electrical problem with the Super Freight Holden. It's cost them valuable points in the championship. Remember, this is the 3rd round of 4. From here, we go to Hampton Downs for the grand final. But before we do that, we've got a whole lot of exciting racing to look forward to. Oh, one of the Kernahans taking to the grass through the hairpin and down the Denny Holmes Straight. 17, Glenn the Coyote Collinson leads it. Porter in 2nd. Jeff SOS Spencer, the local man from Palmerston North. Done plenty laps around here at Manfeild. He's one of the originals of the New Zealand V8 Utes. There he is in the 22, the Core Steel Holden. Rest of the field thrashes by. Oh, and there's a problem out there for Stu Monteith. Oh, suspension damage on the Trade Depot Holden. You can see it peeled out the inner guard liner as well. He won't be going anywhere, I don't think. That would have been a scary moment for the rookie. Luckily, he parks it away from the action, so we continue. No yellow flags, no safety car here at Manfeild for the third and final race of the day. Grid positions decided by points for the meeting. That's why we had Matt the Stinger Spratt and Andrew Porter on the front row, but it was Glenn the Coyote Collinson that came from the second row, went right around the front two and leads this race. The DNA paints forward. There is the stricken sight of the new boy. Here it is on the Shell Helix replay. You can see for yourself major front suspension damage, and it rips out the brake ductings and all the inner guards as well. Not the way that Stu Monteith would have wanted his day to continue. Great to see new blood, though, in the New Zealand V8. Back to the front of the field. Porter gets a little bit closer now. Now, where is the Stinger? There he is. He's making his way up into third place. Has he got past Jeff SOS Spencer? That's Spencer in the 22. Manuel trying to go with Spratt as they work their way down into Higgins once again. It's the Ford, though, in the front. Up on his favourite outside line, right down the middle of the racetrack comes Andrew Porter in the Porter group. Holden. Now he changes tack as they head down the back straight here. Still calling the shots, though. Turning in first will be the 17, the Coyote Collinson. Then it's Spencer. Then it's Matt the Stinger Spratt. Peter Chaos Ward in it again. Manuel in behind him. Now it gets a little bit squeezy. And look at this. The 17 tries to drive Porter off onto the grass. Little bit of contact. You see Porter go to the panic brake there. Lock the wheels up. He's coming back for more, though. Just bounce off the mirror as they head down into one again. Coyote Collinson thinks better of it. Remember, he's been relegated already once today for contact. I wonder if that was the head ruling the heart there. He backed out of that one. He could have gone on with it. You're on board here with Matt the Stinger Spratt. The Primo Grove Ford. In front of him is SOS Jeff Spencer, the local man in the Core Steel Holden. Right in behind him, Peter Chaos Ward. Man, he's been in the thick of it today. So the higher man just starting to stretch away a little bit. And that's to be expected. Oh, and it looks like there's more issues there for Paul Manuel, slowing dramatically down the Denny Holm straight. As once again, there's a little bit of contact. And as sideways as you like goes Jeff SOS Spencer. I thought Peter Chaos Ward was going to straighten him up, but I don't think there's any contact at all. And congratulations to SOS Spencer. He stays on the track, stayed pointed virtually in the right direction as they come out of Higgins and head down the back straight. Brilliant save for the man from Palmerston North. The Porter man. You're on board here with Collinson, currently sitting in second place in the Ford. That fast disappearing dot in the centre of his windscreen is Andrew Porter. Well, he's driven all sorts, hasn't he? He's driven New Zealand endurance cars, GT3 cars. I mentioned before, he's a multiple New Zealand Super Truck champion. He'd love to put the New Zealand V8 Utes Championship trophy on his resume as well, but he's not going to do it with the likes of this man chasing him. This is Matt the Stinger Spratt. He was the points leader coming into this one, and he's had a pretty good run here at Manfeild. And if he can consolidate his position, he will continue to lead the points. That's the sad side of Paul Manuel going into the pits, and that's as good as a DNF. This race only 10 laps long, so it's virtually a sprint. And once you call into pit lane, it's pretty near over. That has huge championship ramifications for Manuel, the past sprint champion in the New Zealand V8 Utes. You're back on board here with Matt the Stinger Spratt, just getting a little bit closer to the Ford of Collinson. And that's one thing I've noticed with Matt this season. He stalks his prey. He's relentless. He just keeps on coming. And you can see for yourself that he's now right on the tailgate of the 17. Andrew Porter would be blissfully unaware of this because he's got quite a healthy advantage as they work around the big sweeper and out onto the front straight once more. Alexander Whitley running up behind SOS Spencer, and then behind him it's Brett the Scud Rudd. And that battle at the moment further down through the field, and it's getting closer and closer for second and third. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm sure, before this season is finished. The hallmark of this year's New Zealand V8 Ute racing has been the closeness, and we've got closeness again here. And you see the Core Steel Holden just stepping out, and that's the opening that Alexandra Whitley was looking for in the number 6, the LDV Ute, but she can't make it work. Jeff Spencer driving as good as I've ever seen him as they work their way through the infield curves here at Manfeild. And the blowtorch absolutely being turned on him. This time down the inside comes Whitley. Can she do it this time? Spencer tries to live round the outside as they head towards the hairpin once again, and he can't do it, and Whitley's got the position, and lurking in the background there as Spencer goes off onto the grass is Brett the Scud Rudd. So it goes from bad to worse for the man from Palmerston North in the Core Steel Holden. He's about to be another spot down, I think, because Rudd looking racy in the Pellet Supplies Holden. No, can't get the pass done this time round, but maybe that was the setup, side by side with Spencer as they come out of Higgins. This is the battle for the minors, if you like. This is the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th on your screen. Alexandra Whitley got the elbows up, really aggressive. Probably gets that from her time in the Sangyong Action Utes. The close quarters racing, she's no stranger to it. Last lap borders out. Andrew Porter's going to win this, unless some disaster befalls him. But they're coming at him from behind. You're on board here with Peter Chaos Ward. He's getting a whole lot closer to Matt the Stinger Spratt, but he throws away what any advantage he had then because he got a little bit sideways. The Yokohama tyres absolutely protesting. The on-track temperatures up over 40 degrees now. Oh, another gentle tap for Collinson. Matt the Stinger Spratt, that's just a hello tap, just to let him know he's right there. Don't make a mistake because I'm ready to pounce. You're on board here with Chaos as he's looking to pick up the dregs as they head down the Denny Holm Straight once again. Last lap here in the 3rd and final race of the day at Mighty Manfeild. Circuit Chris Amon. And it is the Porter man, Andrew Porter, the Porter Group Holden in the front. Then it's the Ford, the DNA Paints Ford of Glenn the Coyote Collinson. Again, a little bit of braille tapped onto the tailgate from Matt the Stinger Spratt. Ford on Ford for 2nd and 3rd, and then it's Peter Chaos Ward ready to pick up the dregs, but I don't think there's going to be any, because down the back straight for the very last time goes the higher man, Andrew Porter, on his way to a win here in race number 3, the 3rd and final race of the weekend here for the New Zealand V8 Utes. From here we'll go to Manfeild for the grand final, but right now the cheers and the accolades from the crowd will go to Andrew Porter. 2nd, 3rd and 4th is not done with yet. Look at Ward down the inside working on Spratt. Did he make the pass stick? I don't know that he did. We'll check with the official situation. It is Andrew the higher man Porter gets the win. Glenn the Coyote Collinson through in 2nd place. Then it was Spratt, Ward, Whitley, Rudd, Kernahan, Simon Usher, Jeff Ripples Kernahan and Dave Shaggy Lowe. Once again, another DNF for Paul Auto Manual and also for Stu Monteith.
Yeah, we just wanted to go out and get myself into a rhythm, and then I could see where Glenn was struggling a bit on turn 7 and a couple of other corners, and just really capitalised on that.
Well, I tell you, it was all about the start this time, so I don't even know how I did it, so I'm going to have to go over the footage so I can maybe do it again, but I pulled a gear and I drove off and pulled another gear, and I was like, I'm going to have to put some steering into this and drive around them. But that thing about is he was pretty quick, so I just sort of, held him as long as I could, which was probably only about 2 laps. I just covered it off because we needed to get a result.
Got the round win, had a shocking start, sort of what's almost sitting on all the marbles from the Toyota Racing Series race beforehand, and just bogged it down, but had a real quick car, just had to be patient, get through Spence, and got on the back of Glenn and had a few opportunities, but thought, got a lot of points for the weekend, so just kept it consistent and came home in 3rd, so happy.
1 round to go in the championship, and it's close. It is Matt the Stinger Spratt on top from Glenn Coyote Collinson. Then it's the higher man Porter, and then Peter Chaos Ward. Paul Auto Manual, has he kissed his championship hopes goodbye? 6 people in contention as we head to Hampton Downs. It's the grand final for the New Zealand V8 Utes. Matt the Stinger Spratt, Glenn the Coyote Collinson, Andrew Hireman Porter, Peter Chaos Ward, Paul Auto Manual, Alexandra Skippy Whitley. 6 drivers, 3 races, the grand final, Hampton Downs. Shell Helix Motor Oils are proud to present the New Zealand V8 Utes Series.